What's up, everyone? If you're writing JavaScript, you're using objects. It's just a fact. But how do you actually get the stuff out of them? That's what we're tackling today. The classic showdown, dot versus bracket notation. Let's do this. Okay, before we even touch any code, let's get a mental picture. Think of a JavaScript object like a toolbox. Seriously, each tool has its own little labeled slot, right? The label is the key, and the tool itself is the value. If you can get that image in your head, the rest of this is going to be an absolute breeze. So that's the big question, right? You've got this toolbox. You can see all the labels, but how do you actually reach in and pull out the hammer you need? Let's break it down. All right, so let's talk about this JavaScript box. Before we figure out how to open it, we should probably all be on the same page about what it even is.
And it's actually super simple. At its heart, a JavaScript object is just a collection of key-value pairs. That's it. You've got a key, maybe username, and a value that goes with it, like codemaster123. It's how we keep related bits of information all bundled up together in our code.
Okay, tool number one. This is the one you're going to see all the time. It's the simple, the clean, the classic way to get at your data, dot notation. So when do you use this one? The key thing to remember is that you use a dot when you know exactly what property you're looking for, and it's a nice, simple name. You know, no spaces, no weird characters. It's your bread and butter for getting data. All right, check this out. We've got a user object here with a name and an age. To get that name out, it's as easy as typing user, then a dot, then name, user.name. And just like that, console.log shows us phase on. See? Super clean, super readable. But life isn't always that simple, is it? What if the property name has a space in it? Or, and this is the big one, what if you don't know which property you need until the code is actually running? That's where our second tool comes in. It's the flexible, powerful one, bracket notation. Now this is a game changer. The words you gotta remember here are dynamic and variable. Bracket notation lets you use a variable to tell your code which property to grab. It totally unlocks a new level of what you can do. Okay, let's see how this works. Look, we've got a variable named key, and we've put the string age inside it. Now, instead of user.age, we type user, then open up some square brackets and pop that key variable right inside. What happens? JavaScript looks inside the brackets, finds the variable key, sees its value as age, and then it goes and grabs the age property from our user object. And out comes 25. That, my friends, is dynamic programming. All right, we've met the contenders, the simple dot, the flexible bracket. Now it's time for the main event, the face-off, because knowing when to use which is what really levels up your coding game. So let's just lay it all out. Here is your cheat sheet. Use dot notation 90% of the time. Whenever the property name is a simple, valid identifier you already know, user.name, it's just cleaner. But you absolutely must use bracket notation in two key scenarios. 1, the property name is in a variable. We just saw that. 2, the property name has spaces or special characters. Imagine a key like first name. If you try user.firstname, your code is going to crash and burn. But user first name, that works perfectly. That's the power of brackets. All right, let's bring it all home. I want to make sure this really sticks. Think of this next slide as your final takeaway, the rules to code by. So let's drill this one last time. Dot notation, that's for your clean, straightforward property names that you already know. Bracket notation, that's your power tool. You pull it out for dynamic access with variables or for those tricky keys with spaces or special characters. And the most important thing to get is that it's not a competition. They work together. Knowing when to grab the right tool for the job is what makes you a pro and your code way more powerful. And there you have it, the complete breakdown of dot versus bracket notation. So now I'm curious. Think about your own code, the projects you're working on right now. Which one do you find yourself using more often? Drop a comment below and let me know. I'd love to see what you're all building. Thanks for tuning in and happy coding.